Okay. Um, just annoying sometimes, but sometimes I'm sorry to say this. It's not annoying. Sometimes it's annoying most of the time. But you have to be strong. And for me, my videos are a way to speak when I can't, because I know there'll be a day where I will not be able to speak. So it's also a way for me to express myself when I can't, but understand that this is the things I need to say as much as I can. I understand the power of speaking and saying things out loud, even if nobody end up listening to it. Getting that out of your system maybe brings something out of it. And me, I've noticed that it has. These people have been doing a lot of pedophilia things to me. It's disturbing, but that's what they do. And you can go through everything from memory manipulation to changing this disturbing perception to reactions to thoughts. It's so nasty. And what I detest the most is when perps try to utilize their children in these disgusting ways. It's so foul. And try to make me accept these manipulations. These fathers talking about their babies, and then they make me imagine their babies. So I don't even think I actually seen them, but they can make me imagine their babies and give me these stimulations. It's so disturbing. Um, it's foul. But either way, if I saw their children, they will do these things to me. This technology can do so much horrible perceptions and imaginations that you at this point understand that they have a pattern of doing things a certain ways. Now, there's a few things I like to do. First of all, let me just introduce myself. I'm what you call a target individual, TI. TIs are human subjects that are used in this program where these governmental entities contract people who are civilians around you, and they implement these tactics that these governmental entities requires in regard to get results for the developing of their technology. And you have a whole ecosystem of people, of a group of people all around you who are trying to convince you of something that you know is falsified, manipulated, and also participating in your targeting, which consists of maybe implementing some of these sophisticated tactics using this technology that are extremely sophisticated. I mean, we're talking about electronic weaponry, direct energy, and V2K and synthetic telepathy. And then they try to like convince you that now all he does, it's like, now listen, at this point, target individual, we have such a consistent testimonial that we understand that we are part of whatever governmental program this is that is meant to truly rewire us and manipulate us in ways that naturally would never react in these ways. These thoughts will never come into us. These reactions will never be these ways, and it's obvious manipulations. And we are gaslighting on a level of unbelievableness, like this, like gaslight on steroid, where it's consistently, and they're really playing accordingly, and they're dumbing themselves down to a level that you can't even understand. For example, for me, I get not only the gang stalking, but I'm getting the V2K. And while I was with this woman, and it's not the first time, once I was with this woman where I was with her and we were together in a sexual way while she's with me, giving me pleasure of some sort. Excuse me for my language. She stopped what she was doing. She looks at me and she said, "Black girls." Now, you understand this is not something that she does to investigate. It's because she was trying to make me imagine a black little girl doing what she was doing to me and make me imagine that. Now you understand people do these kind of things are not doing things to protect children. This is not a way to protect children. It's to try to train your brain to think about kids in these ways. But it doesn't even end. Not too long ago, and they do these things usually in my brain where they can, while I'm with some woman or even in sexual interaction with, just let's just say I watch adult content, they implant children in my head to disturb me. But sometimes the participants do things to kind of aid that. The last time, not too long ago, I think it was actually last weekend, this person was clenching her private area while, I'm sorry to say that, while they were making me think of a child that she made me see like a day ago or so, clenching it so they can create this stimuli. It was so disturbing. I tried to like get out of that, but in a smooth way. You don't want to sound crazy, because as I was trying to navigate to just get out of that situation, she was just like, no, stay in, and she started clenching it as they put these things in my brain. And they like to say, oh, what we're doing, we're mapping. We're making you think the way you think at a certain time in your life. We just find something in your brain. It's like, is this part of how you're mapping me to think to? They say that the way I'm thinking is the way I was thinking at one point, and what they're doing is just bringing up. And that point is when I was a child, by the way. Oh, they just bringing that up. But the reality is they try to condition your brain and train your brain non-stop to make you think in these ways, to the point where while I'm even with somebody, in the midst of me having the interaction, that sexual interaction with this woman, the participant try to find a way to condition my brain and do these things with clenching her genital while they are forcing me to think about children. And it was so disturbing. And you've realized like this is that's how bad they're trying to make me be acceptive of these things and train my brain to that level. It is so far. I'll never subscribe and identify with these nasty things. The psychological torment is so disturbing, but they are really training. And you have people, co-workers that try to make this, like, to explain to me what just happened there. Why would she do that? Is it part of how they try to mapping, analyzing the data? It's no, she's doing what is supposed to be done. Just like that person who, while I was being with her in a sexual way, she stopped what she was doing, said black girl, and then got back to it because she wanted me to imagine that what she was doing, a black little girl was doing it. This is the kind of things they do. Now that's the most overt things. Sometimes, a lot of time is in my brain. It's playing in my brain and overlaying stuff in my brain that's so disgusting, which I can never subscribe to and identify. They make me think of a little girl and then give me stimulation sensations. Like, I know it's not me, but I know that you can make me experience that. And they say that this feeling that I'm feeling now is something that I felt when I was a child. Now those are the same people who clench their own genitals while I'm with them to try to train my brain this way. They know me, but obviously I know that they are trying to make me accept of these manipulations. And so I hear this man on the call telling me, oh, I have me and my little kids. To make it seem like he's involved in this to protect his children. It's like, yeah, okay. I understand the incentives are there. Matter of fact, he tried to even use his children so that they can create this nasty stimulation. It's so disgusting. The amount of co-workers who've done that to me while on camera, showing their babies so they can do these disgusting things to me. It's disgusting. It's non-stop. That's why now what I do is when they do this, I take pictures of their babies and them, make a video. I blur make a video on YouTube, as you can see here. You've seen a lot of that. And say, they make me see these babies this way. It's so disgusting. Adorable babies, little girls, usually it's the worst. And then give me sensation, stimulation that they say they mapped it to me as a child. Which sometimes when they do the mapping, consists of me having sex with these women and they mapping by clenching the genitals. And when I mean that, is like they make me think of children, and this you all of a sudden I can feel this woman clenching her genitals. Like, what the hell? The timing is just disgusting. It's so foul. And it's been ongoing and non-stop. And you just gotta deal with this. That's what's gonna happen. But target individual, they then try to call it being a war. It's like, wow, this is your generation's war, I guess, right? It's such a war that even while I'm with somebody sexually, your war calls for that person to start clenching her genitals as they implant children in my brain. Now I know I'm gonna suffer and be in pain, but you've seen the last video. You see who's at war. I truly understand what I'm a part of. I'm a human subject, and these perps living around me are participating in this program that developed technology utilizing human subjects. There's children involved. With me, they were even trying to make it seem like it's everything but a governmental entity. That it's not this program led by this governmental entity that even torture children, but somehow there are a group of like women to protect. Like, it's some ridiculous, trashy stuff. And they tell me I'm gonna be punching out. I was like, listen, all of that is just like for the theatrics. It's a theater. You can destroy my organs inside out. I won't be surprised that when I was sleeping and they do these things to me, I could have literally, like, my heartbeat could have completely stopped and they just revived me. I understand this technology is coming from the Department of Defense. It's not some losers or some group of whatever fantasizers of people that try to come up. I understand the sophistication of this technology. Why do you think these people that you see in the last video wearing their PJ bottom are involved? Do you think it's just the technology? I'll never subscribe to these things. And I understand the reason why I'm here is the reason why they can't say Roy Moore. You know, I was outside. There was this guy, this gangster-looking person in a nice, really nice car, like some kind of nice SUV in New York, parked right outside my building. Really nice car. And he opens the door. He looks at me, and he says something. I know it's something threatening. And I'm like, I don't know what he says, but it's supposed to be threatening to me. I'm like, at this point, it's like, as I look at him, it's like, dude, do you think this is who I should be scared of? Not to say he's not a scary person, but we're talking about the Department of Defense here. We're talking about DARPA. We're talking about technology that can blow my internal organs in 2 seconds and repair them. Like, we're talking about that kind of technology. We're talking about technology that can fry my brain and treat it. We're talking about kids in their PJs can do things to me from remotely. We're talking about the things that are almost science fiction. So you think you stabbing me, shooting me, cutting me, like what? All of these things, they can do that to me. I see the reality of what this is about. And he knows that too, because I did this thing. They are scared to say the name of this pedophile called Roy Moore, or somebody who was allegedly picking up kids when he was 35 years old, as young as 14 years old, picking up kids, right? He's 35 picking up 14-year-old kids. At the YMCA band and everything, this like talk show talking about how like it's crazy that, you know, he was doing this and that. People were laughing about the fact that this guy was that disturbing. And he still tried to run for governor. Almost won, by the way. And he almost won because people were still funding his campaign, including the employee who put me in this program. And so the connection is my employer put me in this program, and that employer spent money on this alleged pedophile. And that alleged pedophile almost won, even though all this allegation came out that he was banned from the YMCA because he was picking up kids when he was an assistant DA. So that is kind of a reality, a fair reality of what is going on, and the fair reality of who is running the show, in the sense that they don't want to say his name. There is some kind of restriction. I don't know what, but there are very strong restrictions that the people even speaking to me via V2K, to say the name Roy Moore is like they say it in every other way but the way it should be said. Ratmore, or they say when I'm not gonna hear it, and I'm confused. Did they say Roy Moore or not? Right? And so I'm in the car. The guy who was threatening me is just right in front of me. And I get on the phone, open the window. Hey Roy Moore! How's it going? The guy in the car just like tensed up and started looking right in front of him. You understand? He was so scared. He started looking right in front. The people who was in front, like by his car, they were talking, and all of a sudden, they just turned around and looked away. Conversation ended. Why do I bring that up? Is the reality of who runs the show. Why were these fierce, brave men and women and children are scared to say Roy Moore? To me, I don't see that as unfair. Matter of fact, I see that as the fairest thing that I can experience, because that is a way to put things back in perspective. But it doesn't even end here. The agencies running this program, those agencies happen to have a problem with pedophilia, to the point where this BuzzFeed article was calling out that it was such a problem with pedophilia in these agencies from CIA, DOD, and DARPA, that they caught some CIA agents that he was using his government computer, using government Wi-Fi to download child porn, and left his government computer unattended. Or it was another person actually left his computer unattended, and they caught his computer with child porn. And then nothing happened to him, because he said, oh, something changed, somebody flipped and changed things around. I was like, yo, like that, and nothing happened to him. But some other person was doing so much child porn, they caught thousands of child porn on his computer. These people, in a fierce way, meaning that they try to sound a certain way, when they talk to me via V2K, they use this tonality. You see these people you saw in this live video with pages and everything. When they interact with me via V2K, you will think that those like the femme fatale, Nikita femme fatale talking to me. They tell me using that tonality, we dared. We're gonna implant child porn. We're gonna do this. We're gonna implant child porn. And sometimes what they do is like they try to make me imagine there was this, and I'm not perfect. I remember when there was this like large leak of OnlyFans in March 2020, and there was I did look at it, and there was one of this OnlyFans model who was with her guy, and you don't see, she's like in the 20s. You can't see her face. She's just facing the other way. The guy is laying down, and they try to make me imagine this person that you can't see her face, she's underage, just to try to make me imagine like that I'm watching child porn, because this OnlyFans model cannot be seen. She's facing the other way. She's basically on top of her boyfriend, and because you only see the back of her head and her back, they can back up any stories, to the point where like, oh, but look at her room is kind of dirty. What kind of adult will have? Oh, her voice is kind of like soft voice. It's so delusional. Trying to make me imagine it of nothing real. And not the OnlyFans person. During the time when there was a huge leak in the OnlyFans thing during March 2020. So now they're like, no, okay, no, we're going to plan child porn. Trash. And so, for me, it's been consistently trying to put things in perspective as these people are manipulating reality. Memories with new perceptions that are disturbingly nasty and sexual, pedophilia centric, just because there's children involved in this. All kind. From just a child walking around to a child that they're putting lotion on, to whatever they can to try to create a pedophilia things. This low life are trash. Now I understand I'm talking to people who are working for governmental entities that even torture babies. They hurt infants. These people have blood of women. These people in their PG pants have blood of women and children on them. Cowards of the earth. These trash, these losers have been humiliated by reality. That's why I'm so thankful to God that before I died, I got to see the reality of things for a second at least. Now give me strength for the theater that I'm going to experience. Because the humiliation was too much. Women clenching the genitals, women giving me oral sex, and then stop, and then say black girls in order to make me imagine a child. Agency filled with pedophiles. Testimonials of people saying they do this pedophilia type of torture. Them telling me that they just mapped it to me when I was a child. That's how I'm thinking now. Testimonial saying specifically everything that it's doing to me. Manipulation of memory check. Then you hear there's a journal coming out, and a medical journal calling out that memory manipulation is coming up. We should get prepped for that because we know memories are things that can be manipulated. Memories are like a waxing print, and it can be formed in different ways. And everything. Women calling out, there's a lot of females involved in this program torturing women. In this program, in every ways. This Robin Dawkins talking about like people, he's been talking to a different target individual. Some believe that it's like the next door 14-year-old neighbor. Is like in this program they can make you believe that it's everything but a large government running this program. In every ways, it's been humiliations. And then Roy Moore can be, and then for me, the employer is such a conservative employer of mine that he donated so much money to all the most like conservative issues you can imagine, to the point that they spend millions of dollars on attorney and organization that helped flip the Roe versus Wade law. They helped that happen. They did their part. They gave X amount of millions of dollars for that. So this is why I just am thankful to God. And earlier, right before I made this video, they were so desperate to create these sexual stimulations and create a match to what they do to me now. I was going through my notes, and there's this girl I followed in 2014. I thought she was an adult. I was like 26, 27, and she was not an adult, but it looked like she was in her 20s already because she looked way older. And ever since then, they're like, we see when proof that you see, that's a proof. And I have her picture now during the time, or like before I followed her, but around the same time, like a few months after I followed her, something like that. And she was still not an adult. She was like still a kid, but she looked like a 20-some-year-old, right? It's like I have these pictures because it's like, look at who I followed in 2014 thinking she was an adult. It's incredible. She looks older then than now. It's like, it's still unbelievable. It's one of these people who look abnormally older than their age. And so I was going through my phone fast, and I think her picture passed by, but I couldn't even see it. I know it's hers because I know the dark, like, things that she like. It looks like it could be her, and it looks like it's her, but I didn't see any details. But I know that it's a picture of her, right? And it stimulated me. It was so intense. It was such an intense reaction. It's like I couldn't even see her. You stimulated me so. They're so desperate to make me stimulated toward her that they stimulated me even when I didn't see her properly to even process what I saw. It was such a like strong forced stimulation that they were so desperate to make me experience to say, you see, we mapped attracted. It's like, no, this reaction, these arousals are you forcing me to get sexual arousals. They can do that. They can make you have sexual arousals that you would not have naturally. Matter of fact, this is so obvious that how can I even have sexual arousal on like a black blur? It's not, you can't even see what it is. But that's the same arousal they make me have toward like babies. It's like, this is the things you do. This is the falsified arousals. You could do that to the most beautiful woman in the world, and they'll still be falsified, because this is a falsified arousal. I couldn't even see. It's like imagine the you see this boom, boom, and they give you stimulation. It's like you don't even know what this was. You just saw a blur. If this is like the most beautiful person in the world, and you get arousal like that, you know it's falsified, because you can't even process what you saw. So it's like, you guys are so desperate to create these falsified things that you wanted me to get stimulations that are falsified toward her picture because she's a kid there. But even though she's a kid that looks like an adult, but you want me to get stimulations on somebody I didn't even see. These people are trash. To all my target individual, stay strong. Do not subscribe and identify with this nastiness.